Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I tell you what you need to hear to make an informed decision. Now, guys, there is a lot of misinformation and chaos in crypto right now, especially when it comes to like DeFi and cross-border payments and ISO and SWIFT. Pretty much everything to do with the flow of money, which is what I follow. If you want to front run and make money, follow the money. I used to work for Bear Stearns, and guys, I'm here to tell you, the governments, primarily the U.S. government, the central banks, and Wall Street pick winners and losers. So I am going to follow their lead and try to front run where they put their money because, guys, the big money moves the market. We don't pump tokens, and we definitely don't pick winners or losers. So I'm non-biased. I just give you the information you need. And in this video, we're going to go through and answer a lot of questions that have been really driving me insane for the last couple of months. Because I have what they call a growth mindset, probably a little bit of ADHD. So when I can't figure something out, it absolutely drives me insane. Well, there's been a lot of questions that I've been asking, and quite frankly, I just couldn't figure it out. And we're going to dive into that. And if you bear with me, at the end, it's all going to make sense. And it may sound negative along the way, but stay with me because it's all positive in the big picture. Let's get into it. Now, I've heard like Jamie Dimon with JP Morgan say crypto's a scam and all this stuff, but blockchain is the future. You're like, I just didn't get it. So stay with me. And I heard stuff like XRP is not for retail. A lot of people jump up and down and say that's a good thing. But stay with me because I didn't understand that. Then I was watching a podcast like a year ago, and HSBC, which is a very large bank, was talking about how they had been in blockchain for like 9 years. And it's a big part of their banking sector. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Right? I didn't understand it. How was she talking about being involved in blockchain for over 9 years? And the banks are already using it. And then another thing is like, I found out that JP Morgan is running over $1 billion a day through their private blockchain through the repo market, which is one of the, if not the largest liquidity pool of money for major corporations around the world to tap into. That blew me away that I didn't know that. And then the last thing that kind of put all this together that makes sense now, and I really want to know what you think in the comment section if you agree with what I'm about to tell you. I watched a podcast with one of the head guys in Polygon Labs. He works between like Polygon's ecosystem and the institutions in like Wall Street. And he basically said that no matter what, right now, every major corporation in the world is going knee deep into blockchain and Web3. They all have roadmaps, they all have developers, and they're moving forward every day. But we don't hear about it because they keep it on the down low. They don't want their competition to understand what they're doing in blockchain in like Web3 or the metaverse or whatever it is. And if you think about it, it makes sense. And he said you're not going to see anything happen until they 100% are ready to roll it out. And he said once it starts, once all these major corporations get everything out of beta and know it works right, you're going to see it everywhere, and it's going to look like it comes out of nowhere, and it looks like it happened overnight. Now, when I put all that together and all this craziness that's going on in the world, Like, we got the government attacking us. You got the SEC is weaponized, not just against Ripple, but the entire crypto community. You've got the World Economic Forum in one hand talking about how positive the world is going to be with the new technology. And, every day we hear something positive and something extremely negative. And you're like, it's just chaos. But here's what I figured out. It's not as chaos as you think, because to answer all those questions, for instance, what Jamie Dimon meant was these cryptos that don't have real world utility, they are scams. And he's basically giving us a heads up that, look, we want to crush that part of crypto. If you don't have real world utility, or actually if they don't control it or get a piece of it, they want to crush it. Meanwhile, they're telling people not to invest in crypto or Web3 because, guys, they are working as hard and fast as they can to line everything up. Now, I say this with love to a lot of people, but when you hear that when they say XRP was not meant for retail, that is a quote, indirectly quote from Brad. And people make that out to be a major thing. Well, here's what I'm here to tell you. Brad's telling you, look, when it comes to Ripple, XRP is a money maker. They make money with their ODL using the escrow account. It is their best cash flow, period. And then they sell XRP on the open market every month. That's how they get the bulk of their infusion of cash when they need it, like to pay for the court case. So when Brad tells you that's not your XRP, he's basically saying that's what I use to make money. And if you think for 1 second, and this is tying all this together, guys, it's not just Ripple. It's R3 Corda. It's SWIFT. It's any corporation in the world. They are not trying to get us rich. If we understand everything and we pick the right projects, we might get there. But they would rather put every penny that we hope to make in their pockets, including Ripple. And that is not an insult on Ripple or anything else. Ripple is a corporation. Ripple created XRP to be a world beater and make money for Ripple. And guys, that's only going to get worse when they go public. Because here's the deal, guys. The money, the profits go to Ripple. That's what corporations are. Tokens are not stocks. So when you look around the world and you look at any time, in my opinion, this is what I'm seeing, this is my conclusion. Anytime you see a corporation involved in crypto, you might want to buy that corporation, or definitely understand that you need to be on the side of that corporation when you invest in the token, because they will dump on you. In my opinion, 100% of every corporation in America or in the world that is affiliated, has a token or a blockchain, they're going to dump on the retail customer. That's basically, and it's not, we're not really their customer, on the retail base. That's what they do. The smart money takes from the so-called dumb money. That's the institutions taking money from retail. So that will never, ever, ever change. So that's why I follow the money. So anyway, guys, the next thing I want to talk about is how well XDC is doing. This news came out of everywhere of what they're doing with like cross-border payments and the ledger and XDC and everything else. It's extremely positive. But now if you want to know how much research I do and how far I go down the rabbit hole? Check this out, guys. When I'm researching, the enterprise ready hybrid blockchain for global trade and finance, I was researching all this information on XDC to see why it was pumping. And it led me to like this article, the UAE central bank partners with R3 for retail wholesale CDBCs. Just a flood of positive information, right? Well, I kept going down the rabbit hole and I came to this old article. And it was talking about bonds. Guys, this is like a 2-year-old article, and they were talking about tokenizing bonds and cutting edge blockchain and all this stuff. Now, hear me out, because a lot of people say they do their research, but we'll use this as an example. Most people that's going to research XDC or XRP or pretty much any token, they're just biased. They're looking for bullet points to share with their community. They're not looking for negative. They're not even looking for reality. They're looking for something that they can hype up, that's positive, and they can throw forward. Well, at the end of this article, which was positive, it said, other solutions included. The article's over, right? And it mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different corporations. Now think about it, guys. Talking about like XDC and tokenizing bonds and all this stuff, and R3 mainly, but they said other solutions. Well, I went down that rabbit hole and I read multiple articles, went to their websites of all these different projects they mentioned. And I got news for you. We're not going to dive into them, but 6 Digital Exchange is part of the world-beating class, guys. I'm telling you, they're part of the future. But look at this, guys. This Ledger Edge, guys, we don't even mention that. When you talk about competition, guys, this is a corporation. There's no token. Look at it. Ledger Edge, powering digital markets. When you go through their use cases and everything they do, guys, this is a powerhouse corporation I'd never heard of. And I stay on top of the corporations because I don't just study the foundations or the tokens. I study as many of the competitors as I can. Check this out. The world's first, listen to this, the world's first fully regulated DLT-enabled trading platform for corporate bonds is live. Trade with Ledger Edge for better execution and complete control of your data. Guys, this is a powerhouse. The world's first regulated DLT. Now, here's a positive part about why this isn't all negative. What makes up all the DLT technology? That's pretty much the banking tokens that we all know and love, XRP, XLM, Quant, Hedera, all those. Now, but just show you, I read all these articles, went down all these rabbit holes, right, to make sure that I'm not missing something. Now, look at this. The World Bank is still loving its blockchain-powered bonds. Guys, this is a 2-3-year-old article where they were tokenizing and running bonds. This gets to my whole point that I was getting to earlier, and hopefully you're staying with me. I know I'm rambling. They have been building out the future for years and years, guys, and it's the corporations that are going to win. Their overall goal to answer all these questions is to wipe out crypto except for the ones that they need, and then they'll keep the blockchain technology, which they will control and dominate and make the majority of the money. Now, here's the last part, and then we'll take it into conclusion. Check this out. It says SWIFT successfully trials blockchain for corporate actions. Well, guys, I've been going down the rabbit hole talking about SWIFT. there's so much misinformation starting to grow about Swift. Like people, oh, Ripple, for instance, going to put Swift out of business. It's going away. It's not going away, guys. It is growing leaps and bounds, and it has a phenomenal roadmap. And it is not, and I repeat, and this is documented 1,000 times, it is not just messaging like we know it. It is going to be involved in tokenization of assets, data, everything. And that gets into the partnership they have with Link as a gateway. But I just want to tell you this one thing to make it clear. I want to read one thing, because they're moving into the big data part, which is amazing. That gets back into like the graph and Link and some of the other projects that I like, and they're gonna be tied into Swift, and they're ones to watch. Follow the money, follow the adoption. But check this out. Our analysts found that asset managers often receive notifications from up to 100 different sources about the same corporate event, and the data is often different from the contradictory form from one source to another. I can't read that. Sorry about that. But here's my point, guys. Link is moving into so much more as well, but they're a partner, a gateway partner, basically for Swift. Well, Swift is not a blockchain with a token. Basically, it's a corporation, guys. My whole point of this is twofold or threefold. The entities that are running the world right now and that have been are not losing ground, they're gaining ground. And in the big picture, from what I'm seeing, is they actually have been putting things in place for years and years and years. They're way, way ahead of what we thought. America, as far as I can tell, is not behind. I thought we were immensely behind, because I fell into the thing of, oh, they're going to flip a switch. Well, I got past that as the more I learned, and I understand that banking needs time to catch up. Well, guys, they have caught way up. They're just trying to kill the crypto projects and the competition, the ways that we really make money. They don't want you buying ICOs. They want to kill that. They want to kill all the competition. If you're not affiliated with the big money of the world, they're going to try to crush it. Now, they're not going to be able to do all that, but that just makes me understand this chaos. Now, it will all make sense in the future. Now, here's the good news, and I know I'm rambling. The banking tokens, the tokens that I talk about all the time, like the ISO20022 tokens that have real world utility, that are connected indirectly or directly with Swift, like Link and all the interoperability projects like XRP and XLM and Quant. Guys, they're going to do great, because no matter what, no matter how many private blockchains they are, no matter how they crush the majority of tokens, and they will, those projects should do really well, because they have the utility that makes it all work. So don't think that you should go dump your HBAR bag or your Quant bag, or definitely your Link bag, because even though they're not going to get the lion's share, they're going to get their share, and that's where we're going to capitalize, guys. So, information is just information. We all have to deal with the reality. I'm here to make money, and I can't do that if I get misinformation. And that's just something to do with life, guys. That's not financial advice. If you want to make good decisions for yourself, get the good, get the bad, get as much information as you can. the more non-biased information you get, the better decisions you will be able to make in life. I am here to follow the money and front run where they are going with their money and power. That's what my theory is. And I've been in and out of the markets for like 30 years and nothing's changed. Technology's changed, but the big, powerful corporations and governments, they're still doing the same old thing. When it's all said and done, guys, the lions today are going to be the same lions tomorrow. There's not going to even be any new players. Now, they'll be able to go up the ladder to a pretty good spot, but they're not. And I repeat, no one is going to get the lion's share that's not knee-deep in the banking sector right now. Now, that's all I got for you guys. Remember, I don't tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear. So if that's important to you, it's hard to find a channel. I know I have the same issue that you can depend on to not give you fluff or shill something. I don't do that. I will give you the good, the bad, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it, and you can do that information as you will. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We've got a lot of good information coming out. And guys, I can't be more excited. There are so many good projects out there. Guys, I'm here to tell you, don't get biased, don't get tribal, and definitely don't marry these projects, because the up-and-coming projects, the new HBAR, the new XRP, the new Shiba, all that stuff's coming. Look what those AI tokens have already done. Well, there's new AI tokens coming. The ones that we just saw run, they're running in a bear market. Wait till the bull market gets here, guys. So I'm telling you, don't be biased. Don't be tribal. Open your mind. Open to everything and educate yourself, because, guys, I'm telling you, if you're watching this, the odds are you're in the position to capitalize on the biggest bull run and opportunity I think the world's ever seen. That's why I started my channel, and I'm here for you. I might not always be right, but I'll be right here, and we're going to figure it out. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and hit that like button and come back. Take care.